every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel is already here, is already real.
There is no one out there, there is no one else. You hold all the answers deep inside of yourself. There's a voice that whispers, there's no you, no me. There's just one, there's just unity.
One power, one presence, one light to lead the way. All loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray.
When the world looks darkest and your eyes can see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I am always with you, I will always be. I am one, I am unity. We are one, we are unity.
Hello and good morning. Good morning to my wonderful Unity community. Welcome to our online Sunday service. My name is Jana and I am your hostess this morning. Thank you for honoring the call of being present here with us. It is my delight to be here with you, to share in the Unity experience with you. We come together this morning as a spiritual family in one mind, with one heart and one consciousness, to be a presence of peace and love for each other. When we do this, we raise our level of consciousness to that higher level, to the God level, where miracles and blessings occur. This is an awesome place to live, move, and have our beings from. This morning, let's share the Unity principles. Firstly, God is the only one and only source and creator of all existence in the universe. Secondly, God is good and present at every moment in the universe, always. Thirdly, God lives within each one of us. God is all good, therefore we are inherently all good. Fourthly, we create our experiences through our thoughts. Fifthly and lastly, practicing these principles daily is living the Unity experience. Let's take a moment to acknowledge who we are and what we represent at Unity of Ventura. We are a radiating center of spiritual well-being. We are known for our incredible music team, for our fabulous speakers and their outstanding messages. And of course, we're known for our loving and welcoming fellowship. Unity promises to provide a loving and accepting environment that inspires personal and spiritual growth through the practices of Unity principles. These principles are expressed through the co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. We happily welcome all people. We welcome people of all backgrounds, all ways of thinking, all ethnicities, all faiths, all races, all creeds, all religions. You can see that we welcome everyone here at Unity. That is in fact why we are called Unity. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, know that we are here to support you. Let's take a breath and take this Unity experience a bit deeper as we go into morning prayer. This morning I am going to lead us into the original and metaphysical version of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, the presence of divine love and light that lives within us and with all life. Hallowed be thy name. We invoke the powerful creative nature of all that is sacred and holy. Thy kingdom come. We embrace the healing essence that is the kingdom of heaven within. Thy will be done. We accept our greatest good as we align with our divine nature. On earth as it is in heaven, knowing that the affairs of our lives reflect our evolving consciousness. Give us this day our daily bread. We receive great blessings from within and throughout all activities of our lives. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. We accept the divine nature of all things and all people, including ourselves, as we move away from judgment and move toward greater awareness of divine presence. Lead us not into temptation. We shall be vigilant in expressing and experiencing the oneness with all life. Deliver us from evil as we are learning to live without fault-finding and suffering. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. We accept the consciousness of the divine perfection with all its power and glory right here, right now, and forevermore. Take this into the awareness at the center of your being. We give great thanks in advance for the lesson and the musical experiences we are about to receive. We know that wherever we are, God is. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is. Amen. We will continue our service now with the reading of the daily word, remembering that we are one of millions of readers all over the world. Today's reading is from this morning, The word is free. The affirmation is living from my divine nature frees me. Sometimes I feel limited when I don't think I have enough time or money or space or education or experience. These thoughts can occupy so much space in my mind that I begin to think limitation is the truth of my being, of my life. The greater truth is that I am a free and limited spirit. Alive in God, I am free to express all the love, wisdom, and strength of the divine as only I can. What joy and liberation it is to know that nothing can separate me from my true spiritual nature. If I believe any circumstance in my life or any of my past actions obstruct or delay my spiritual progress, I now release that belief. I release it. I let it go. Embracing and living from the divine presence, the Christ presence within me, I claim freedom from all limitation. This morning's reading was inspired by Acts chapter 17, verse 28, which states, "In him we live and move and have our being." Today's word is free. The affirmation is living from my divine nature frees me. So it is, and so we let this be. Amen.
Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God.
Morning sun coming through the trees, the green leaves shimmer in the summer breeze, the songbirds singing to the honeybees, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. After the dazzle of day is done, the moon makes love to the setting sun. The stars come twinkling one by one, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost,
forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God.
We sleep in dreams, both deep and bright, sailing through the velvet night, refreshing the soul to the spirit's delight.
Living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living in the heart of God. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten.
We continue now with the statement of truth. As we speak these words together, let's take this truth into the very center of our beings. I will say it once, and then I will ask us to virtually say it together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God the Good. Together now, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God the Good. Let's prepare now for a time of meditation. I invite you to find a place of rest in your home. Close your eyes. Release all tension from your body. Drop your shoulders. Relax your arms at your sides or sitting on your lap. Take a few cleansing breaths as you go within to the place where Spirit resides. Continue with the breath and simply relax. Quiet the mind and open the heart. Being present to this moment is all there is. I am free as I live from my divine nature. I am free as I live from my divine nature. I am free and unlimited in spirit. The spirit that resides at the very core of my being, at the very core of my pulse, at the very core of my heartbeat. I am free and unlimited to do what is mine to do. And I am free and unlimited to be me, to live my authentic truth in this present moment. I am free to express love, wisdom, and strength. This expression of love, wisdom, and strength moves in and through every cell, every nook, every cranny of my being. I release all circumstances and conditions that obstruct my spiritual progress. I release all feelings of separation as I live, move, and have my being from my divine nature. I rest now in this moment of silence as I claim freedom from all lack, all limitation, all negativity. It is time to bring your awareness back into this time and place. Bring with you an open heart and mind, feeling refreshed, renewed, and ready to live freely from your divine nature. We say thank you, sweet spirit. So it is, and so we let this be. Amen. It is time to introduce our guest speaker to the virtual pulpit this morning. Reverend Christine Pena has graduated from the Michael Beckwith School of Ministry. She is a master practitioner at the Agape International Spiritual Center in Beverly Hills. Reverend Christine is a writer, a dynamic speaker, and a workshop leader. She has a private counseling practice in Los Angeles. Her talk this morning is, what's your ask? What's your ask? Please join me in welcoming Reverend Christine Pena.
So good morning, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here with you. My name is Reverend Christine, and it's my pleasure to be with you here today, welcoming you all into another wonderful day in the Spirit, another day to celebrate and commune with the presence, to know ourselves as God in the flesh in this moment, in this day. And you can see in my background, I'm all ready for fall. I know it's not here yet. I know we're still kind of in the end of summer, but I'm ready. I'm so ready. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So my topic today is, what's your ask? And I wanted to give you a little bit of a background. This is kind of an unusual topic. It didn't spell it all out for you in the little blurb that I typed up. But I always say that, and I'm going to quote myself here. I'm always saying that I'm not interested in following the people who say they have all the answers. I'm more interested in traveling with people who ask interesting questions. So we're going to ask some interesting questions today and see what kind of answers we come up with. So the way this whole topic came to me was I was with a friend of mine, and I had called her on the phone. I wrote an email out, and before I hit that send button, I wanted to get her opinion. And so I asked her if she had a minute to listen to this email because I wanted to get her take on it. And she said, you know what? I'm running out the door right now. I'm getting ready to go to an appointment. So, can you make it short? And I said, well, I kind of wanted to read the email to you. And she said, well, just, make it quick. And she didn't want to hear the email message, but she wanted me to get straight to the point of the email itself. And so I started telling her a little bit about it. We were kind of going around, and she said, what's your ask? In other words, what were you hoping to get by writing this email? And that question sort of just stopped me in my tracks. And I had to sit there and think, what is my ask with this email? Because I had it all laid out. I had all my points, I knew what I wanted to say, but I was feeling kind of hesitant about what I actually wanted to achieve. What did I want to get from this as the end result? So she said, what's your ask? And I said, I don't know. I don't think I have one, is what I said. And she said to me, well, okay, read the email message and I'll just be getting dressed while you're doing this. So I read her the entire message. It was kind of long. Bless her for her patience. It was kind of long. And she said at the very end, as I got to the end of it, she said, your ask was so clear, Christine. Your ask was so clear. And she repeated back to me what she heard as my ask. And I thought, man, not only did she ask a good question, but that's a good practitioner right there. That's somebody who asks good questions. Because what it did was it stopped the train of thought in my head and made me really get down to the point of what I was trying to do with this email. So I say that to say that, I think that the questions that we ask are every bit as important, if not more important, than the answers we received. And so when we ask for something, and we're going to go over another quote in a minute, but when we ask for something, whether we're asking for something in prayer, or whether we're asking something of another person, we want to look at our questions. We want to look at our motives behind what we're doing. We want to look at the questions behind our ask. We want to look at what am I hoping to get out of this? And what are the questions that I'm asking? And also, even more interesting, it's like, what is the question behind the question? And where am I coming from with it? So the quote that I included, if you read the little blurb that I included in the when I was explaining about what this sermon was going to be about, one of the things I included was a quote from the Bible. And this is a passage from Matthew 7:7. And this is a pretty well heard. Everybody's heard this quote. Everybody knows it. There's even a book by Abraham Hicks called Ask and It Is Given. So it's a very familiar phrase to all of us. And I'm going to read it real carefully, and then we're going to kind of break it down a little bit. So the quote is, ask and it is given. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. And again, that's from Matthew 7:7. So I wanted to take this and do my own little personal metaphysical spin on what this particular quote means to me and how it relates to the whole topic. So let's break it down piece by piece. So there is 3 different components to this quote. And the first part of it is ask and it is given. So there's the ask. There's the ask question. What is your ask? What are you asking for? And I'm interpreting this as the metaphysical conversation that we have with the divine, the place where we go deeper in prayer or meditation or whatever your spiritual practice happens to be, that we go deep when we ask, and we have a dialogue with the divine when we're praying, do we not? Meditation is listening and prayer is speaking. So we're speaking into this void. We're speaking into the creative. In Science of Mind, they have a little, those who know who it, Science of Mind, CSL now, Science of Mind, they have a little V where the creative process comes down and it comes through spirit and then it comes into manifestation. So this is the ask part of this quote. And my metaphysical interpretation of this is where we ask our questions. What are we asking for? Where is that question coming from within you? And what's the question behind the question? And so when we ask, we're asking and then we're assuming it's given. And, have you ever had somebody who says, I've been praying and praying and praying. And, they may come to you as a client and they say, I've been praying and praying and praying about this thing. And if every prayer is answered, why am I not getting what I asked for? And, there will be people who will come to you and say this to you. They'll say, this is what I've been praying for. This is what I've been asking for all this time. And it's still not coming to me. So what am I doing wrong? Or how come God isn't answering my prayer? And so you have to kind of look, okay, where are you coming from with this? When you're asking your question, are you coming from love or are you coming from fear? Are you coming from scarcity or are you coming from abundance? So that's why I say it's so, it's like a curiosity that you're opening up when you start asking questions of the questions themselves. Where are these desires coming from? And if it's truly your heart's desire and it's in line with your belief, your basic belief system, and sometimes you really have to dig down deep and find out, what do I really believe? If you're praying to win the lotto, and that's your prayer, and you're like, I pray every week to win the lotto. How come it's not happening? Well, do you honestly believe? Is there a belief in you that you deserve that? Is that your self-worth? So what's the question behind the question? And the second part of that is ask and it is given. So prayer is always answered at the level of our belief. It's always given, it's done unto us as we believe, right? That's another very familiar Bible quote, is done unto you as you believe. So now let's break it down and let's look at the second part of this, the second stanza, and that is seek and you will find. And metaphysically, how I look at this is, I don't know if you've heard of The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. To me, this second stanza of this passage is about the journey, about the seeking. And again, isn't that exciting? That our metaphysical journey as spiritual seekers is not the answer at the end of the it's not the destination, it's the journey itself. It's the metaphysical journey itself. So we want to enter into it with this excitement. We want to enter into seeking with this kind of enthusiasm, this joyous enthusiasm. And when you come to God with that joyous enthusiasm, you will find. And what you will find is enlightenment along the way in the journey as you seek. So that's the second part of it. Now, the third part of it. So this is knock and it will be open to you. And the way I look at this is, you know, when somebody actually knocks on the door, there's an expectation or a hope, maybe not an expectation, but a hope that somebody's going to answer. You know, if you're a salesman and you're knocking on doors, well, you're hoping somebody's going to come to the door. You know, you're hoping they're actually behind the door and they're going to come to the door and speak to you. So the promise of prayer is, if you knock, if you make that effort to put yourself out there, that the door will be open for you. And then my metaphysical interpretation of it will be open to you is that you will receive enlightenment, that you will receive the answers that you're seeking, and that you will open your mind and your heart to receive that which you've gleaned throughout all the other different sections of this passage. So when I initially said when I wrote my little blurb, what I said was, bring your inquisitive mind and your open heart. And that's where knock and it will be open to you comes in. That when you have all these things lined up, when you ask and you ask behind the ask, you look behind the ask itself, and you take a moment to step back and to examine what it is that you're really asking for. And then, what am I asking? Why am I asking that? What is that about? And then when it is given to you, it is given to you as you believe. So when you're asking your questions, you can think about whether or not you really believe that you're going to be given what you're asking for. Or is it just this pie in the sky, you know, I'm going to win the lotto and become a millionaire? I mean, some people do. Some people do. And some people who do and don't believe, they lose that money. You know, they can have a big windfall, but then they lose that money. So, and then again, seek and you will find. So you have that curiosity and that willingness to go on that journey so that you can find what you're looking for, and be surprised. Allow yourself to be surprised by God. And then knock and it's open to you, because you're extending that curiosity and you're actually following through. And I also take the knock to be the action step in this particular passage, that you're doing some action. You're that salesman and you're walking around to all those houses, you know, and every time you step up to that door, you do that job. You knock and you are rewarded. It will be opened unto you. So all of this brings up faith. That's the very bottom line of this whole thing, is that faith. And Marianne Williamson says, faith is not a theological principle. It is a mental and emotional muscle. So again, this is another piece of the action plan. There's the asking, there's the giving, there's the, you know, there are steps along the way. And then you come to this action plan of faith, where you're continually exercising your faith. You're continually practicing, and you're continually doing your prayer and your meditation. And you're asking yourself, when you sit for meditation, you know, what do I want from meditation? What do I want from prayer? Am I trying to establish a habit? Because out of your habits can be birthed your wildest dreams. Out of your habits, you know, out of these things that you teach yourself to do, because there's a bigger ask behind it. There's a bigger objective. There's a bigger goal behind it, which is to take that journey and to have that dialogue with spirit and have that intimate relationship with the divine. So exercise that muscle of faith and continue to ask and ask yourself why you're asking and ask yourself where you're asking from, and go on that journey. Go on that hero's journey and make yourself shine with the light of God. That's what I'm inviting you to do today. So with that, I'm going to turn within and do a little prayer for you today. So again, it's always my pleasure to be here with you and to just represent God as Reverend Christine and as each one of you. And I'm just wishing you all well. Let's pray. Let's turn within and pray right now. So how grateful I am for this powerful presence that is the allness of spirit. How grateful I am to just know and accept that right where I am, God is. The wholeness of God is. The wonder of God is. The magnificence of God is. That it continues to live and move and have its beingness. That it is that thing behind the thing. That it is that question behind the question. That it is that open willingness and curiosity to go on the journey and to take the action, to knock on the door, to ask, and to pray aright. This is what we do right here and right now. So just as I am knowing that the powerful presence of God is the only activity behind every activity, so I know that I am one with it and it is one with me. And as I'm knowing this for myself, I'm knowing this for each person here present. I'm knowing that the love that we are, the power and the presence, the beauty, the wholeness, the health, the abundance, the wealth, it's God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. And we align ourselves rightly with this principle, this spiritual principle, knowing and accepting that is ours for the taking. So we name it and we claim it right here and right now. Knowing the love of God makes itself manifest. And we say yes to this. Yes, yes, yes. And in this awareness, I simply release this word, knowing that it is so. And I rest in it, releasing it to the law, saying, and so it is. Amen. So peace and blessings. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Until I see you again, peace. Peace and love.
I don't feel the way I used to. The sky is gray, much more than it is blue. But I know one day I'll get through, and I'll take my place again. So I will try. So I will try. I don't love the way I need you. You need more, and I know
came into view. And I'm tired of getting used to the day. So I will try. So I will try. If I would try. If I will try. Oh.
Oh my, what another beautiful musical arrangement led by Smitty and Julia and the entire Unity Band. How blessed we truly are by this musical team. And thank you, Reverend Christine. You always provide us with a powerful message. This is the time in our service where we practice the spiritual law of circulation and we offer our gifts to Unity of Ventura. As we give, we contribute to the success of this church home. There are many ways to donate. I will briefly remind you of those ways. You can go onto the Unity website and push the bright orange donate button. You can send a check or money order to the church office, or you can use your bank pay. As a reminder, each time you shop on Amazon, we also receive a small portion of that, so please feel free to shop often. Whichever way you choose to donate, just know how very appreciative we are. Holding your vision of prosperity and abundance, I invite you to place your gift close to your heart, and together let us recite the following offering. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I receive. Sweet Spirit, we bless these offerings. We bless every check, every coin, every bill, knowing that they will be used in the will and the work of God through this ministry. We bless each giver knowing that they have given from a place of kindness and generosity. We know that they are being richly blessed in magical and wondrous ways. We thank each person for the sharing of their prosperity, and we see it coming back to them 1,000-fold. We say thank you, sweet Spirit. Thank you. Amen. Well, folks, I hope each one of you feels that sense of fulfillment by being blessed with this service today. It truly has been a time of spiritual nurturing. It is indeed good to be a truth student, practicing the unity principles with each one of you. Thank you again to Reverend Christine for your wonderful lesson today. We so appreciate you. Thanks to our entire music team. Thank you, Smitty, for putting together once again our service for this week. We'd be lost without you. Thank you, Sherry, for bringing our community together online. And lastly, a very special thanks to each one of you for being present with us here today. We are Unity of Ventura because of you. So thank you. Remember to stay right here after service and join us in the spiritual salon. It's always really good to spend some time talking, laughing, sharing stories with your spiritual family after service. So please stay with us. As we come to a close this morning, I just want to send a special thanks to each one of you who participated in the Operation School Bell. We sent $675 to the Assistance League this week. Barbara Jean also took 5 bags of donated goods over to the Assistance League for the kids. What an outstanding community we have. I am just so grateful from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank each and every one of you. We are living and practicing the unity principles. If you need one-on-one prayer, please feel free to either contact me at the website or call me on the church phone. I will make sure that a prayer member either gets back with you if you would wish that, or I will get your message out to the prayer team. Just know that they're here each and every moment, and they're ready to pray with you. Stay tuned next week. We have a powerful new guest speaker. We now conclude our service with the peace song and the reciting of the prayer for protection. Until next week, Namaste.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous love. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.